what is it like to be a Buddhist in Brighton? From other places that I've taught, it's quite easy. I find in Brighton there's a very accommodating view. You know, I do walk. I don't wear these outer robes, these robes, but I do wear this and wear my robes around town, and nobody really blinks. You know, it's just quite normal. I find here in the south, Brighton is I find very accommodating and open and friendly place, and so very open to new ideas and more responsive. I mean, I have taught up in the north, and a little bit more stone face, and maybe looking at me a little bit funny, but like in New York and places. But here, I just find it very. It's a very relaxed atmosphere and very open people. Yeah. I can only speak for our tradition, because I think there are a few other Buddhist groups in the Brighton area. I'd say on a weekly basis, we probably have maybe 200, 250, maybe 300 people that come. But then on a wider scope, I think there's quite a few people that just practice on their own. So a lot of people, they'll come and they'll receive teachings, maybe on a weekend course or a week-long course, or they'll be coming for a few months, and they learn the practices and the methods, what they can do to train their mind, and then they have the books and they just do it at home and maybe come in for a refresher. So it's just such a personal practice. There's, I think, a lot of people that are practicing at whatever level they can. So it's probably in the thousands in terms of people that are using the books and the texts and practicing to the best of their ability. Buddhism in general, I mean, I think every tradition has its own. There's always going to be detractors. There's always going to be people that, like for example, Geshe Kelsang, I've talked about our teacher who's presented a very clear lineage of instructions to people of this modern time. So we just studied those 23 books, and we're just happy to study that, and that's what we offer here. But I think some people would consider that to be maybe narrow-minded, that maybe you should be teaching and studying a whole mixture of different Buddhist teachers and inviting different teachers in Buddhism, and that maybe we're being a bit, I forgot the word, secularist, sectarian, you know. But actually, I feel like the opposite is true. Like if we're just following our practice, following our teachings, very happy with the food that we're eating, but also respecting and appreciating what other Buddhist and non-Buddhist traditions are doing. As long as it's a virtuous practice, then I can rejoice in it. I can be happy. So sometimes we get detractors on that, that maybe feel that, we're not, including the whole Buddhist canon altogether, sort of thing. So we've had there'll be some criticism for that. But I think anytime you try to do something pure or beneficial, you're going to have some opposition. So and Buddhism's no different, So, yeah. In general, even just worldwide, I think Buddhism does have a fairly good reputation in terms of being a meditative practice, about developing inner peace, about love and compassion. So I think generally people feel have a very good feeling towards Buddhism, and so there's when I'm walking around, some people have just in a park. Sometimes a person will just thank me for doing what I do, just for being a person of faith, being a person who's trying to train their mind to benefit others. I think there's some people have that recognition. Of course, some people also think I'm something else, But so it's there's quite a good perception, I think, of Buddhism in Brighton, and I think in the world, which is great. Yeah.